of them returned home. Not home yet, but returned to Israel. And, most of them were kidnapped.
When the terrorists infiltrated into the kibbutz itself, this is the house of Bill Epstein. On his way back, he noticed several terrorists that were right over here.
Is that they murdered, especially in this.
Inside them in order to breach doors or windows.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the show. I hope everyone is doing just well. Let me start the show by asking you this question. Do you think that Elon Musk, the owner of Tesla and X, is a free speech guy? Do you think that we can totally and completely trust Elon Musk to be someone who protects free speech? Let me hear your thought and opinion about that in the comment section below. Because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. So, the breaking news is that Elon Musk is in Israel. Apparently, he went there to, quote unquote, wash away his sins. Because if you guys remember clearly, right, he was accused of anti-Semitism and his company, X, has had to suffer a lot from advertisers who do not want to associate themselves with X because they are worried of being labeled as anti-Semitism supporters. So they all pulled their business away from Twitter, and Twitter has had to suffer for it. So Elon Musk thought that it would be best if he go to Israel and maybe ask for forgiveness. It's so funny, right? When you see these business people and then you begin to think that they stand for something. But I personally think that they stand for their businesses. They don't actually stand for the people. They actually stand for their businesses. Because ask yourself, if Elon Musk was really after free speech, why is he not talking about all the free speech violation in China? Why is he for the Modi government suppressing free speech in India? And he was the one that said that he is a free speech guy. But we must remember that free speech must go according to the law. So if free speech must go according to the law of the area, would you say that there's any free speech in Qatar or in Saudi Arabia or in Kuwait? Would you say that? So, do not get me wrong, okay? I am not against Elon Musk wanting to protect his business or wanting to do his business. I'm not against that. I think that any business person hold their businesses as their first priority, and the people might just be the third or the fourth, even the last priority, right? For that, I get it. But I do not like someone to tell us something different and then show us something different. Like people's actions are different from their words. I hate that. So let's go through this article that really explains to us what Elon Musk is doing in Israel and what he hopes to accomplish after this visit to Israel. The headline reads, Elon Musk visits Israel after criticism for endorsing anti-Semitic post. Yeah, he was criticized a lot for anti-Semitism, which I do not think that was the case. I believe that Israel, at least their authority, is weaponizing everything anyone said into anti-Semitism. Like if you criticize Israel, if you criticize Benjamin Netanyahu for his handling of the crisis between Israel and Gaza, you become quote unquote an anti-Semitic. If you say that the Israelis minister of defense said things that are not appropriate, and someone of his level shouldn't be saying stuff like that. People said you are anti-Semitic. Every single thing you say, people just call you anti-Semitic. In fact, they've made the word lost its value. I don't even think that word has any significance anymore, because every single thing will just be labeled as anti-Semitism. That's just it. But let's continue. Elon Musk, the social media mogul, has sailed for his endorsement of an anti-Jewish post toward the site of the Hamas assault on Israel on Monday and declared his commitment to do whatever was necessary to stop the spread of hatred. Musk, the owner of X platform, Tesla, and SpaceX, also watched footage assembled from Hamas body cam, CCTV, and other sources of the October 7 Hamas killing spree, in which Israel says 240 people were taken captive back to Gaza, as well as meeting families of some of the hostages. He had a live online chat with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on X Spaces early on Monday. Musk posted on X, "Action speaks louder than words." On November 15, Musk had agreed with a post on X that falsely claimed Jewish people were stoking hatred against white people, saying the user, who referenced the Great Replacement conspiracy theory, was speaking the actual truth. Musk came on under a lot of fire for that, and sometimes I do not know, I do not understand why he did that. I don't know if he totally understood the entire picture of what he was doing. But sometimes, even though they are as powerful as they are, I think they are humans, and sometimes they get carried away by the moment. It was the same thing Dr. Jordan Peterson did when he posted, "Give them hell, Benjamin. Enough is enough," in reference to the Hamas attacks on the 7th of October on Israel. And people found that to be very, very provocative, and to be very, very inciting. And they were against him for saying that. And since then, Benjamin has gone hard on the people of Palestine. He has destroyed buildings in Gaza. He has killed almost, if I'm not mistaken, 16,000 people in Gaza. The Gazians have suffered a lot as a result of this. So let's continue. The theory holds that Jewish people and leftists are engineering the ethnic and cultural replacement of white populations with non-white immigrants that will lead to a white genocide. Following the post, major US companies, including Walt Disney, Warner Bros. Discovery, and NBC Universal parent Comcast, suspended their advertisement on X, formerly known as Twitter. The White House had criticized Musk for what it's called an apparent promotion of anti-Semitic and racist hate that runs against our core values as Americans. Sometimes when you catch a people, right, for far too long, right, when you just keep them locked up, you run the risk of turning them into monsters. Like the people in Gaza, the way Israel has handled the whole Gaza issue hasn't really made the Gazians have a favorable view of Israel. Now, we from the West might just sit and condemn the Gazians, or we from the global South might just sit here and say the Gazians are terrorists or Hamas is terrorists. But we must put everything to context, right? I don't know, it was one person who said it. I think it was an Israelite who said it this way. If he were a Palestinian living in Palestine and who was living in those hard conditions that the people in Gaza had to live through, he is not sure if he wouldn't have been radicalized. So we cannot just all sit there and take moral high grounds and think that those people who committed those acts are disgraceful and barbaric and do not deserve any sign of understanding. Now, we do not condone their actions. There is a difference between condoning something and understanding something. Because most of us talking here, most of us trying to cast out those people who committed those atrocities on the 7th of October are not quite sure if we were the one in their position, what we would do. We are not quite sure. We are not quite sure if we wouldn't be radicalized if we were in their position. So before you condemn people, try putting yourself in their shoes. Try understanding their situation. Try understanding where they came from and what they've been through. Just try understanding all these factors before you draw your conclusion. That is just all people are asking. And that's exactly what Elon Musk said here. These people in Gaza have had to live under deplorable circumstances. They have had to see their territory being under siege. They have no right to live when they want to live. And they have had to have Hamas torment them and tell them that the enemy is Israel. What do you think those people would become? Have you asked yourself that question? What do you think those people will become? What do you think is the point of Elon Musk traveling all the way to Israel to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu and the president Isaac Herzog, and also meeting with the families of the hostages? Do you think that Elon Musk has any significant role to play in this whole conflict? And also, do you think that Elon Musk must have been forced to go there even out of his own conviction due to the fact that Twitter is suffering because most companies have taken away their businesses from Twitter, and so he is just going there to ask for forgiveness from the Israeli authorities so that those sweet Benjamin can start coming back? Let us in the comment section below, because I always we love hearing what you have to say. And please like this video and share this video and subscribe to this channel, because that helps us a lot and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you for doing just that, and like always, see you in the next one.